Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We're continuing our KLAA boys and girls basketball team previews as we now are pleased to be joined by the head girls basketball coach at Livonia Churchill. That, of course, is Kaylin Morris. How's it going?
Pretty good. Just excited to start the season up.
All right. So kind of talking about, I don't know if you got, I know lots of teams are doing scrimmages today. Just overall, how excited are you to start the year? And then, of course, all your team is set this year as well. What's it going to be like heading into the year?
We're young. Majority of our team is sophomores. We got one senior, one junior, and we're actually going to have two freshmen playing up as well. Our returning MVP is actually going to be out for most of the year, if not all of it. She had a knee injury in the summer, so she's recovering from that. So, we're still in the process of learning, trying to get better every single day. But, so far I'm pleased with the effort from my kids. They seem to be getting a little bit better. They definitely have a better grasp of the offense. So it's fun to see them to start having some, a little bit of success in some of these scrimmages that we've been having.
All right. Well, for many people that aren't familiar with this program, kind of talk about who some of the returners coming back and also some of the names to watch out for.
I'll say our point guard, Alyssa. She's a little thing, but she's as crafty as you can get. She's a real good floor general. She knows the plays in and out. She does a really good job controlling the offense for us. I would say another one for us, I think is kind of sneaky, is Julia. She's played since she was a freshman. She's a really, really good defender. She understands our defenses really well, and she's got crazy length. So you won't even see her in the play, and you'll think you'll be able to make a pass. And she'll just come up out of nowhere and get the steal. She's led our team in steals now for probably since her freshman year. And Rachel, obviously, she's the one that's out for us right now. She would have been a player that I thought she was really putting herself in a position to have a really big breakout year. Unfortunately, she's got to sit out for most of the year, but her recovery is going really well. And I think when she comes back, she's going to be better than she was before.
Yeah. So overall, how do you like your team so far? I know you said you guys are going to be young, but overall, what do you like about what you're seeing from them? Because I know you might have got some games and scrimmages in. Overall impressions of what your team is going to look like.
I think we're going to be extremely physical. I've got some fairly strong kids. They've really adapted that physicality. I think a few of them really enjoy it. Sometimes I got to pull them back a little bit in practice and make sure we're not hurting ourselves. But I think, where we might lack in athleticism, we'll make up for it in physicality. And I think that's going to be kind of our MO.
Yeah. When you look at your side, when you look at the East this year, obviously it starts and stops with Wayne. But overall, the division's going to be another one. The KLA is just going to be its usual self. Everyone's can beat anybody again.
Yeah, honestly, I think we have one of the hardest conferences in the entire state. On both sides. You've got a lot of talent. You've got really good coaches. From top to bottom, I think we have a really, really good conference. And, no one's safe. And on any given night, I think, anybody can be beat. Obviously, Wayne, they own the crown, and rightfully so. They've had really, really good success the last few years. And, they've got a great name for themselves. Jarvis has done a good job building that program. Another team I think people need to watch out for is Belleville. They got some really good players. I think they got one of the most underrated players in the area in Daria. So, I think that's another team people need to watch out for.
Yeah, and of course, really kind of going in and kind of talk about some of the games that, you have in the first few games of the season.
So we start off with Waterford Kettering. Last year we had a really good game with them. It was back and forth. I know they lost their best player. So it should be a fairly evenly matched game again. And we got Garden City, which we've had some success with, in the past. Redford Union, Milford, Plymouth Christian. Last year we had, just like Waterford Kettering, we had a really good game, a lot of back and forth. Our youth kind of hurt us there. They had some strong seniors, so they're gone. So that's another game that we kind of look at that, we think we should be fairly competitive in.
Yeah. And of course, kind of really just seeing overall, what is this? What do you want to see out of these, really these first few games before we head into the Christmas break and really into conference play?
Honestly, I want to see where our team identity is going to go. I was talking earlier about our physicality. That's just my assumption from what I've seen so far, but practices and games are a lot different. So what I really want to see is, what is our identity going to be? Do they impose their physical will on people? I mean, because like I said, if we're gonna have any success this year, it's gonna be because we're extremely disciplined. We do the little things really well, and we're physically just gonna beat you up. Whether we win or lose, I want teams to walk out of the gym respecting my kids and how hard they play.
Yeah. And playing, and there's a lot of tough games because you mentioned Wayne, Belleville, but whenever you guys clash with Franklin or Stevenson, what are those games like, and how do you approach them? How do you approach rivalry games with your team?
And honestly, I try to approach it like every other game because I don't want to put too much into it to where my kids lose track of what they need to focus on. I think it's real easy for them to get caught up in the moment and some of the hype sometimes. I mean, a lot of these kids have grown up, especially with like Stevenson, Franklin. A lot of those kids have grown up together, went to the same middle schools, elementary schools. So there's a lot of, potential for distractions there. So I try to treat it like any other game. I don't want to hype it up any more than it already is. And I just try to keep them focused on the task at hand.
All right. All right. Well, Kalen, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us and kind of previewing your season. And good luck. Good luck this year and of course, good luck to Livonia Churchill girls basketball.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
All right.